On this week's show, we have highlights from the AFC Motorcycles New Zealand Mini Sprint Championship from Robertson Holden International Speedway, including interviews with a number of drivers during the meeting, including the current 1NZ Christian Hermansen, who's trying to win the New Zealand Mini Sprint Championship 3 times in a row. We stay in Palmerston North for highlights of the Manawatu Youth Mini Stock Champs, including an interview with Madison Nelson, the winner of the Mini Stock donated by Manawatu Speedway Club. In this week's Fan of the Week, we're at Stratford Speedway having a chat to some of our young fans. We highlight the demolition derbies recently held at the Manx Motors Wellington Family Speedway, Stratford Speedway and Robertson Holden International Speedway. But up first, we have some pre-race interviews from the New Zealand Mini Sprint Championship. Cameron, Palmy, tonight it's going to be the New Zealand title in mini sprints. Give us a bit of background on your experience of the sport.
I've been racing mini sprints for about 7 years. We've had a lot of luck early on. We won the first Oval Superstars and a few things. I think my best placing's 4th at Stratford in the New Zealands. But Palmerston is a different kettle of fish. It's hard racing because the track usually slicks off. It's hard on gear, concentration levels. That's my experience in it. So yeah, we've had a quiet couple of days around Christmas and really got ourselves mentally there, hopefully.
Mate, any change in the preparation for tonight, being the New Zealand champs?
No, not really actually. Just trying to treat it like any old meeting really, and trying to stay calm throughout the day and just trying not to get too carried away, and yeah, just going through the normal preparation, just greasing torsion bars and putting the body panels on, giving a bit of a wipe down, getting filled, just the usual stuff.
Is it almost like stock cars and teams racing? You check all the nuts and bolts and just make sure nothing's going to give away, things are as tight as they should be?
Yeah, exactly, and just have a little run through the engine, just sort of do a bit of a download and whatever else, and yeah, just make sure. You might do a few little extra things. I'm not, just a little bit more of a bolt check and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, we're just trying to treat it like a normal day. I was saying to someone before that the last probably 2 to 3 years we've just sort of treated it like any old meeting, and we've had the best run of success.
Yep.
Rather than I think you can fall into the trap of getting a little bit too carried away at these big events, and you lose your head before the first race and you're kind of mentally out of the game. So
let's look at the mental side of things, where your head's at before you go out, say, on the first heat. It must be difficult. I mean, there must be a little bit of adrenaline starting to build, because it's an important meeting. It's not like a normal night. This is something a bit special.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess in terms of mental preparation, you probably start thinking of it in the morning. Really, for me, the first time you start sort of thinking about the actual racing sides of things is when you get your grid draw.
How do you plan for the New Zealands? Is there extra care, extra preparation on the car, and how do you plan for yourself?
Car-wise, yeah, we had the car full stripped down start of the week. We've gone through everything, pulled diffs apart, bell housings, clutches, brakes, when you name it, it's been off the car this week. Gone through spares, trailer, make sure everything's here. I still forgot my GoPros, but other than that, we're good. Being Christmas, I've just been watching how much I've been eating the last couple of days.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
And making sure you doubled it.
Yeah, correct, you got it.
As we have a look at the drivers assemble up now, this is an impressive looking field, Stu.
Yeah, 23 cars out there. It looks like actually we may be missing one, because off the front row it's the 38 S car of Donald Kuriger. Outside of him was meant to be the 98P Tyler Irwin Hull. Looks like there could be some problems for him because he hasn't made the track for the first heat, so not a good start to his New Zealand title.
Well, I'm making about 21 out there at the moment.
Dylan Smith's out there, the 53V. Also does a bit of part-time superstock racing. And Sean Dickey's making a return to the mini sprint class in the 10S, the independent wrap car out there, the 10S Terminator race chassis. Buzzo Greenway's out there, the 46S car. 72, a rookie this season, Elliot Heron. Bailey Betts in the 58S car. Outside of him, it's the 3NZ, the NZ Dutech car. Shane Dewar definitely knows his way around this place. Brett Giles, he makes a return again this season in the 31P first class car. And then we got Lydia Dickinson, the 75S car outside of him on grid number 10.
Carl McGill holds the lap record at 14.68.
Carl McGill holds the lap record at a few tracks as well.
Will he break it tonight?
Start box has been laid, the 2 vertical lines right there.
Here we go. Green flag drops. It's the first of 3 20-lap races. The New Zealand Mini Sprint title. Kuriger leads us into the first bend, and it's Smith and Dickey side by side, the 53 and the 10.
Contact! Turn 2. Well, I tell you who was very lucky there. He read that situation perfectly, was Hermo. He was making a run to the inside and then had to back out of that and go round and was able to avoid all the carnage. If you want a little bit of technical info about what a mini sprint is, it's a 4-cylinder inline vertical stroke water-cooled single camshaft engined. They are car engines, 1340cc or less when they are manufactured, so you can't increase the cc of them. No fuel injection, and there is an alternative engine choice these days, which most drivers prefer to use the Toyota 4A GELU blacktop 20-valve motor.
There you go, Mike, 17 Toyotas. All on Donald Kerrigan, and we get the green. Well, this time Dylan Smith goes to the inside. Kerrigan's out wide. So Smith gets a better start than he did the first one. Still Kerrigan leading it from Smith. Dickey, here comes Shane Dewar in the 3NZ car. Grid number 8, up to 4th spot already.
Hermo working the inside line there, making the pass. Gone by 5 cars now down the main straight. Track's very grippy.
This is the one Hermo's really got to make up the numbers, starting from grid 22. Good to see our rookie Elliot Heron, the 72 car, first season out, sitting in the 5th spot.
Hermo's passed 9 cars already.
Still Kerrigan leading them.
15 to go.
Dylan Smith looking for a way past Kerr. Here goes Dickey, right in the left rear of Dylan Smith. He's throwing it around all over the place, trying to find another line there, the 10S car. Look at Hermo, as you say, he started grid 22. He's up to the 7th position already. Kerrigan though, working his way through lap traffic. Dylan Smith's going with him to 53. Lydia Dickinson though, she's up to 2nd spot now. The 75S car all the way from grid number 10. So Kerrigan, he needs to get it going.
Well, we keep talking about the defending champion as well. He's made his way up into 4th.
Dickinson, look at Lydia Dickinson, the 75S car, right around the outside of Kerrigan and taking Carol Golding with her.
Brilliant.
So the 75S takes advantage of the lap car. Kerrigan, he just can't find another line to get through. Dickinson's in the lead, Smith's into 2nd, Hermanson into 3rd. Kerrigan, he's got to make a move because he's just...
Hermo! Almost done a half spin.
Across the infield, he comes back out.
Well, I think he can count his chickens right there.
So Kerrigan dropped all the way from the lead and he's back down to 9th spot, the 38 car.
Well, there might still be time for Hermo to get 2nd in this race just yet, hunting down Smith. They've still got 3.5 to go.
The 75 though, look at her. Just picking up that lap traffic. Dylan Smith gives it a crack as well. Here comes Hermo. He's right on the back of Smith. Lap traffic's going to play a huge part because Shane Dewar's caught up in the 3NZ car now. So Dewar all in behind Hermanson. They're just picking off gaps. Here comes Dewar up the inside of Hermanson. Bumps him a little bit wide. We've got a lap car in the way.
Oh, he's made the move.
Comes up. Yep.
Dewar's gone by.
Into 3rd. Here comes Hermanson back trying to give him a nudge. It'll be white flag this time round. Here we go. 1 to go now for the 75 car. 53 2nd. 3NZ in 3rd. Hermo's in 4th in the 1NZ car. Ben Vaughan sitting in 5th, the 57H car, McDonald's. But our leader, she'll do it for the first race from grid number 10. It's the 75S, Lydia Dickinson. Off to a perfect start in heat number 1. New Zealand Mini Sprint champs, max points. Dylan Smith in 2nd. Then we go back, Shane Dewar in 3rd, Christian Hermanson in 4th, all the way from grid 22. All right, down here with 75S, Lydia Dickinson, first race, first heat winner. Got to be stoked with that max points and grid 10, all the way from grid 10.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise actually. The track was challenging and it sort of, I guess, played into my hands a little bit later on throughout the event. So we did what we could. It's quite different to normal. It's normally quite slick and the same surface right across.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of option. It had to go high. There was no. The track wasn't groomed up there at all, but it was a case of giving it a shot anyway.
Hey, down here with 3NZ, the Dutech NZ car, Shane Dewar, 3rd place in the opening heat. You've got to be stoked with that from grid 8.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man, going on that track. She was some hard work out there, boy.
Yeah, you said, well, I was talking to the crew after practice. You seemed to say the car was a bit of a handful. She was pretty wet out there to start with.
Yeah, it didn't get much better. It just got rougher as the time went on.
So basically just find a gap and go through for the lap traffic.
Yeah, most of the time I think got eyes closed and fingers crossed, mate.
All right, down here with the 1NZ car, Christian Hermanson, our defending champion. First heat, mate, grid 22 up to 4th. You're a little bit further up, but lap traffic really came to the part. You must be pretty stoked with 4th though.
Yeah, it was actually pretty much the perfect start to the night. Everything went to almost plan. We were third, but just caught a rut and just sort of bounced out. But I ended up fourth, so it's a good run off the back. I think it's going to be a bit of a disadvantage having our back grid drawer in the first race because the track was super bumpy. So the track guys, the other guys who have their rear grid drawers at the end of the night will have it a little bit easier on the way through, but still to finish fourth is a pretty good effort. So we've got grid 11 and grid 3 the next two heats, so it's a little bit easier from here on, thank God.
This Sunday afternoon at Rosebank Motorcycle Speedway, starting at midday, is the Deadlock Dave 2019 North Island Solo Champs. This Saturday night at Waikareka Family Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the BDC Engineering New Zealand Modified Championship. Support classes include stock cars, saloons, youth mini stocks and street stocks. This Friday night at TWS Paradise Valley Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the TWS World 240s Invitation Superstock Champs qualifying and the Redwood Butchery Aotearoa Lady Stock Car Crown. Support classes include mini stocks. Then on Saturday night at the TWS Paradise Valley Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the TWS World 240s Invitation Superstock Champs Finals and also the Redwood Butchery Aotearoa Lady Stock Car Crown. Support classes include saloons and stock cars. This Friday night at the Eastland Group Raceway, starting at 6:45 p.m, is the Professional Fleet Maintenance New Zealand Production Saloon qualifying. Support classes include street stocks, sidecars and mini stocks. Then on Saturday night at the Eastlands Group Raceway will be the Professional Fleet Maintenance New Zealand Production Saloon Finals. Support classes include sidecars, saloons, mini stocks and stock cars. This Friday night at Miani Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the Onikawa Metal Recyclers New Zealand Super Saloon Grand Prix. Support classes include TQs, mini stocks and street stocks. Then on Saturday night at the Miani Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the Burger King Pro Dirt Super Saloon Series Round 6 and the Hawke's Bay Champs for TQs and street stocks. Support classes include stock cars and sidecars. Well, you might remember last year the Manawatu Speedway Club decided to get a mini stock and put a youth in it for this particular season. The idea was the clubs really wanted to promote people, get them into the sport, and they put a mini stock up and the person was going to have it for the season. They're going to drive it, maintain it, and they're going to learn from the sport. Well, they already found somebody. The driver of 31P is Madison Nelson. Madison, you've been out for one night. This is your second night. Tell me what happened on your first night.
Well, for the first lap we had battery issues, so I ended up sitting halfway through halfway I stalled it, so then I had to get pushed onto the infield. But the second one I came out with a good battery and I raced, and and everyone was proud of me because I actually raced it.
So how did you feel? I mean, were you slow? Did you have a reasonable time, or were you just being overly cautious on the first one?
I was pretty good. It's like I wasn't going super slow because I don't believe in going slow. But I wasn't going super fast though because I was still cautious.
Of course, this is the first time you drove a car with a manual shift.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. I've only ever driven go-karts before. Okay. So yeah.
So you've done one race that was proper?
Yeah, one race. Yeah.
One race. So tonight you're going to go out and hopefully for a couple of other races.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
What do you think you learned from the first night that you're going to apply to tonight?
Well, I'm gonna try to put my foot down fully so I go faster. Fingers crossed. And try to stick to my line and just things like that.
Okay, so this is your second night tonight, so the thing is to go a bit quicker.
Yeah,
that's what you're planning, and maybe you're a wee bit cleaner as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we wish you well, and congratulations again on being the Manawatu Speedway Club's choice. The maintaining of the car, not a problem?
It's been a bit my dad spends his lunchtime sometimes. But it's been pretty easy though, other than that.
Yeah, pretty easy to maintain,
Yeah,
as long
yeah.
as you don't do any damage,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, good luck tonight.
Cool, thank you.
Madison Nelson in the Manawatu Speedway Club's mini stock.
So our first heat winner, Lydia Dickinson, the 75S, she starts from grid 22. Second in that first heat was the 53V, Dylan Smith. He starts out of grid number 15. Shane Dewar, the 3NZP car, off grid 20. Christian Hermanson off grid 11. And fifth place in our first heat was Ben Vaughan, the 57 car. And he starts off grid number 3 for this race. So off the front row, once again, only one car. This time it's the 61P car of Carol Golding. Second row will be Ben Vaughan in the 57H, the McDonald's sponsored car. Outside of him, the 18S, that's Daniel Nicol. Finished up fourth at the Grand Prix at Kiki a couple of weeks back. Row number 3 will be the 17P, Kerry Hodgson. And outside of him is Carl McGill, our lap record holder here. And Carl actually won the Oval Superstar Series last season outright. So Carol Goulding, she's in charge of setting the pace out there in the front. The 61P car. Right in behind though, it's Ben Vaughan and Daniel Nicol. We go green. 20 laps, heat number 2, New Zealand Mini Sprint title. Daniel Nicol round the outside, the 18S car.
Brilliant
Great
move.
drive there. We got 1, 2, 3 round. Donald Kerrigan. Oh, and a big smash there from Tony Johnson, the 13. So Glenn McCutcheon, 44, goes round. Dylan Smith, our Heat 1 runner-up, 53V, he's round. Donald Kerrigan, the 38S car.
Well, that's deja vu from Heat 1, isn't it? So let's hope we go green, white checker now for the next 20 laps.
What a great start from Daniel Nicol, the Hyphen Racing car, the 18S. Right round the outside into the lead. Ben Vaughan, he managed to move up from the inside too and followed Daniel around.
Here we go, getting ready to throw the green.
We go green this time round. Take 2, heat 2. Carol Golding, she certainly heard you because she's making hard work. But Daniel Nicol in the 18S, he gets around the outside. Clean through turn 1 and 2 this time round. Ben Vaughan goes with him in the 57. Here comes Carl McGill in the 93. She makes it hard for him though. McGill gets her into turn 1. So it is 18S, your leader from 57H, 93P, 61P. Here comes Hermo. He's sitting there trying to get past the 17 and the 37.
Yeah, Hermo's just so good through traffic. Already into the top 6 for the defending champion. Well, he had to pull out of that. He had to look to the inside.
Look at that. He just throws the car wide round the outside of the 17 into turn 1 and 2, and he makes it work.
Oh, what a move.
Fifth spot up from grid 11 so far for the 1NZ machine. Where's Lydia Dickinson? She's sitting in about 12th spot from grid 22. So here comes your Heat 1 winner, 75, and she's got a big group of cars in front of her that she's got to pass. Shane Dewar to the outside, the 3NZ car. Oh, Glenn McCutcheon rides the right rear of Lydia.
Yeah, a little bit of contact further in this field as Hermanson starts to reel in the top 3. Just took 2 tenths out of the gap between 3rd and 4th.
Oh, Lydia's gone round and she's over.
Oh, no.
Big time, lands back on her wheels.
Well, there's a championship game changer right there.
Exactly what happened last season in Stratford.
Well, when these little race cars let go, they let go big time. And Lydia taking the wild ride.
Here goes, green light, green flags, the 18S gets us underway.
Hermo right round the outside of the 93.
Here comes Dewar up the inside of Dickie and the 10S, so the 3NZ's moved in behind Hermanson. Here goes Hermo, up high, round the outside of the 93 car. He's going to try and put Ben Vaughan at the same time. He sends him up for turn number 1. Watch the 1NZ Terminator car.
He had to get out of that. Almost misjudged it.
Halfway through the race, it's Nicol in the 18S car out in front. Ben Vaughan.
Wow, Hermo working the inside now. He has to try and change tack because he just doesn't seem to be able to get the nose in.
It looks like the high line's going to have to be the way, but he's just got to find it to stick where his car wants to go. McGill's coming back at Hermanson.
Yeah, he's got to be careful about McGill. 6 laps to go for Nicol, looking sublime out in front.
He's got that 18S hyphen car.
Keeps busting 16-1, so consistent, but he's going to come up into some back markers.
Here comes Dewar up the inside of McGill. The 3NZ up the inside of 93, halfway around the corner. Great job from Dewar. He'll put the pressure on Hermanson now. 1 to go though, this time round. The 18S, Daniel Nicol. Oh, now lap marker gets out wide, so Nicol up the inside. Gets a bit of a clear track to the flag. Ben Vaughan still in second. Hermanson in third. Hermanson up the inside of Vaughan. They make
caution.
contact.
Caution
we
lights.
got one round big time. Gets collected by the 4P. Of course, we lost our Heat 1 first place and second place. Lydia Dickinson out in the infield there, the 75. And we go green. So it'll be 2 laps for the 18S car to hold on to the lead. And for, I guess, Hermanson to hold his position as well. And the 1NZ, he's under a lot of pressure there from the 3 of Shane Dewar. They'll get the white flag this time around.
Hermo's going to have to stick to that pole line like Velcro.
1 to go for the field here. 18S, Daniel Nicol, your leader, from Ben Vaughan in the 57. Hermanson in the 1NZ. 3NZ is Shane Dewar in the 4th spot. That's second, third and fourth are tied at the moment on points. And it's Daniel Nicol, the 18S Hyphen racing car, takes the win. Ben Vaughan second. Hermanson holds on to third. Bit of contact there between himself and the 3NZ of Shane Dewar at the finish of the race. Provisionally, Ben Vaughan, Christian Hermanson and Shane Dewar are all tied on 41 points.
Yeah, and we know Hermo's going to come from grid number 3, the 57 car of Vaughan. Grid 19 for Vaughan, he's got a lot of work to do. And then when we look at the 3NZ of Dewar, he will come from grid number 8.
Okay, we're just down here with was our Heat 1 winner Lydia Dickinson, the 75. Just a bit unfortunate in that one. You managed to have a bit of collision mid-pack and it all sort of turned pear-shaped with a bit of a rollover there.
Yeah, it certainly did. Just probably got a bit keen and it's pretty busy out there. The track's pretty congested and you're flat out trying to make the right decisions at the right time. And obviously I made a poor one and ended up in tears. So that's racing. You're always trying exceptionally hard and sometimes the risks that you take don't pay off. So it's a real bugger, but never mind.
All right, down here with Heat 2 winner at the New Zealand Mini Sprint Champs is the 18S Hyphen racing car, Daniel Nicol. Mate, you've got to be pumped with that from grid number 2.
Yeah, no, mate, real pumped with that one. But unfortunate luck for a couple of the boys out there earlier on in the first race and sort of left a hole open there for me to just smack that outside and keep the wood hard off it, mate. So, yeah, no, I was stoked to come out of the first turn there in first and just stick my head down, man, and drive what was in it, drive the hell out of it, and first half of the race, it was awesome. This is the first time I've been around Palmy, just wide open, never buttoned off. Track started slicking off there near the end and sort of had to start pedaling it a bit, but I was just trying to keep fast-paced Benjamin Vaughan behind me, mate. So, pumped, absolutely wrapped.
All right, catching up here with the 57H McDonald's sponsored car, Ben Vaughan, and start off third and finish up second in that race. Now you're sitting tied for 41 points with Shane Dewar and Christian Hermanson, but mate, you're way down the back of the field on grid 19. But that second heat, that's your right rear tyre after 20 laps. No doubt there's some new rubber going on.
Yeah, definitely. So that was a new tyre going into that heat. We thought the track might have been the same as what it was in the first heat, so we went to quite a soft compound to try and get some drive and stuff. Went out there, it was obviously a lot smoother, a lot blacker, and I knew we didn't quite have the car to challenge for the lead with Nicol in that one. So I just went into conservative mode. I knew we're sitting in a good position, and just if I keep the guys that I'm racing behind me, we're doing not too bad,
Right, down here, 3NZ, Shane Dewar, second heat, mate. You started off grid 20, finished up fourth and behind Hermo and that, but now you're tied on points with them, 41 points, but you're off grid 8, Hermo's off grid 3. Much that track catch you out much in that one?
No, track sort of come to me and the car, so it worked out well for me. All I can hope is it gets a bit slicker and throws everyone off a bit more.
Catching up here with 1NZ, Christian Hermanson, mate. That was a bit of a different run to Heat 1, wasn't it? The setup seemed to be going off on you there a little bit and looked like you were struggling towards the end.
Yeah, we were. We sort of baked the rear tyre. We had a soft compound tyre on the first for that race. And the rear tyres are quite hot by about lap 4. And then they just basically start wearing out. So about lap 8, the tyres are pretty done. So was pretty hard work from then on because you got no rear grip and your rear's just sort of sliding around everywhere, and you're just pretty much holding on and doing the best, and then hoping that you can block the other guys that are behind you. So it was a pretty tough race, and the car was pretty bad, but we've got the guys here giving it a bit of a tune up now, so we're all tight on points, so it comes down to the final heat.
At least two having a go down here at the end of 2 race. That's funny. Isn't that a girl driver? Isn't that Holly? Oh, it was David Bowden. Okay. Yeah, David Bowden. So we've got 2 girls out here by the sounds of it. 126 is Vicky, Vic's Toyota Camry, and Holly at the number 10. I do believe that that's 2 girls.
Chicken plane. There he is. Looks like 113. 113. Yep, 113. Looks like 113 is taking it out. It's Michael Willoughby, 113, taking out the Red Derby on this Thursday night here at the Robertson Holden International Speedway.
Here we are at Stratford Speedway. My name is Zach, and this is my favourite driver, Kyle Shearer. I'm going to be asking some questions to him. Who is your favourite driver, apart from you?
Probably Peter Rees is someone who's given a lot to me and a lot of time on the track and helped setting the car up, so he would be someone that's I highly rate out there. I quite enjoy a good tussle out there, so anyone who wants to have a good bit of a bash around is always good fun too, eh?
How well do you think you're going to go at Team Champs for Stratford Scrappers?
Put me on the spot there, mate. Hey, you know, we went pretty well last year and we're probably an underrated team, so you know, we'll look to build on what we achieved last year and go one better or three better and make the podium for a change.
How do you think you're going to do it at New Zealand's Champs down at Christchurch this year?
Yeah, I've never actually been down to the South Island, so there's a lot to learn down there, and we're doing the whole 3 tracks. So we're starting at Christchurch and heading to Greymouth for the meeting there and finishing off in Nelson for the GP. There's 100 cars entered for the Christchurch, so you've got to have a bit of luck on the night, and if it all goes well and you pull off and get through and qualify, we'll make your own luck in the second night from there, really.
Hi, we are at Stratford Speedway and I'm Zach, and this is my favourite driver, Gary Johnson.
Hey Zach.
Hello. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Do you think your car's doing well this season, and do you think it's one of the fastest on the track?
It's a work in progress. We're hoping to get a lot faster yet, but yeah, it's getting better each meeting.
Hi, my name is Caleb and I race mini stock. I'm 55 years.
My name's Jesse Whelan and I'm 10 years.
Hi, my name's Michael Andrews and I race a mini stock and I'm 5 years.
Yeah, so how do you think you're going to go tonight?
Good.
Right, you?
Yeah. Should be alright. I'm starting off grid 17. Hopefully get some good grids.
I'm starting off grid 21.
Yeah, I'm starting off pole, so hopefully...
Should be fun to win.
Yeah, hopefully win.
Do you know how to use your brakes?
Yep.
I don't know how to use mine.
Hey, good luck, boys.
Yeah, you too.
Hey guys, just make sure you keep an eye on the inside dirt. It is great to watch, especially when you're a race car driver yourself and you don't see a lot of the racing around the country. So keep an eye on the YouTube page. It's good to watch. Yeah, cheers.
This Saturday night at the Stratford Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the JD Hickman Transport New Zealand Midget Champs and the Stock Cars Best Pairs. Support classes include stock cars and youth mini stocks. This Sunday night at the Fast Lane Spears Ocean View Speedway, starting at 6 p.m, is the Treves Concrete Stock Car Shootout. Support classes include super stocks, youth and adult mini stocks. This Saturday night at Max Motors Wellington Family Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the 9th Windy City Mini Sprints Champs. Support classes include stock cars, saloons and mini stocks. This Saturday night at Ampro Tools Woodford Glen Speedway, starting at 6 p.m, is the Ampro Tools South Island Stock Car Champs and the Street Stocks Remembrance Champs. Support classes include saloons and mini stocks. This Saturday afternoon at the Central Motor Speedway, starting at 4 p.m, is the Cromwell Hot Rod Burnout and Club Champs. Support classes include sprint cars, production saloons, 6-shooters and mini stocks. This Saturday afternoon at Riverside Speedway, starting at 4 p.m, is the Southland Street Stock Champs with full support fields.
And they're on greens. They're running. Coming into the first corner, the 21P car, the 15H is starting to move out as well. That's Ryan Marshall. They're going to be a danger, absolute danger. But right off the front, we've got a lead change straight away. We want to pick up some of these points very, very quickly. They want to get out and miss the traffic as they come down the main straight now. It looks like the Marshall car, 15H, is the lead car. 21 rider behind him, that's Hodge. Got the Creek car out of Wellington, the 9W in third place. The Zahn car, 197.
Yeah, here comes the Marshall Zahn car, the 197. Look at them charging through, Dave.
Gemma Barnes, of course, she wants this too.
Big field of youth mini stocks here. One race final. Oh, Cyrus Crook up the wall. The 9W car. And behind his club mate there, Keegan Cotter, the 24W. As you say out front, it's the 15H, it's the Marshall car, but he's got Cody Hodge all in behind him, the 21 car. Look at how quick this 197 of Marshall Zahn is, Dave. 15 lapper, one race final for the Manawatu Youth Mini Stock Champs. At the moment, it's a Huntley car in the lead.
Ryan Marshall.
Two Palmy cars trying to hunt him down. Cody Hodge and Marshall Zahn, the 21 and the 197. Here comes Hodge up the inside. Oh, Marshall, he's gone wide. Bit more drive up there maybe. He's trying a different line. Hodge looked like he was hot up the inside. Didn't work. Here comes Marshall Zahn, the 197. He moves up to second spot. Marshall, though, in the 15. He's found something the other drivers haven't, and that's a high line. Marshall Zahn, though, down the bottom, the 197. Here he comes. They're side by side down the straight. Into turn one. Zahn's got the run on the inside. The 15H has got the momentum on the outside. 6 laps done, 15 the total for the Manawatu Mini Stock Champs. Zahn up the inside, out of turn number 4. He gets him for the lead. The 197 goes to the front. Marshall Zahn. Our Huntley visitor moves into second. That's Marshall. Ryan Marshall. Cody Hodge still sitting in third. Marshall Zahn, look at that gap. He's just extending the lead now. 7 to go for the 197 car. He's had it hooked up at every track he's visited this season. 32 cars started this feature race for the youth mini stocks. Marshall Zahn, the 197, he's out in front, well and truly comfortable. Ryan Marshall, the 15H in second. Cody Hodge in third. Still battling it out, these two Wellington drivers. Keegan Cotter in the 24 and Cyrus Crook in the 9. Look at this, Caelan Mooney pushes Cotter into the wall. The Reds have come on.
He'll be sitting on the sideline saying yes. Good.
Oh, Marshall Zahn, he missed the start there. The restart there a little bit, the 197. But he's back honking away there.
Three to go. Marshall Zahn, Ryan Marshall, Cody Hodge, 197, 15H and 21P.
I'll tell you what though, such a huge field of mini stocks for this one race final, and they're well spread out. We've got some quick guys down the back. I mean, Seth Hodge, he's coming up to get lapped. The 12 car. You know, normally he's at the pointy end of the field. Here we go though. Here comes your race leader, Marshall Zahn, the 197. He's got 1 to go in the Manawatu Youth Mini Stock Champs. Taking care of the back markers. He's just got to hold it on for 2 more corners. The side-by-side 15H and 21. Looks like Cody Hodge up the inside. He gets him. So here's your Manawatu Youth Mini Stock Champion for the 2018-19 season. It's Marshall Zahn, the 197. Then we go back to the 21P of Cody Hodge in second, and 15H. Ryan Marshall will come home in third. Okay, so we're down here now with the 197, the 2018-19 Manawatu Youth Mini Stock Champion, Marshall Zahn. Mate, that was a good little drive out there. 32 cars, you came out to win in the championship. Got to be stoked with that.
Yeah, pretty happy. Started off in 5th, managed to find my way back up to 1st. Pretty happy with it. A lot of fast cars out there, very big competition. Especially being in Palmerston, there's a lot of fast cars. Very happy with that.
You've been flying at basically every track you've been to. You were at Wellington last night and absolutely hauling down there. I seen you at Wanganui a few weeks back, pick up a couple of wins. So you got a bit of a little rocket ship going on here, eh?
Yeah, it's always been a rocket ship. Even when we bought it,
People who owned it, the Towlers, they made everything they could, make it the best it possibly could be. Yeah, we've just had it and loved it and done our own thing.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yes, it's the main event, the third and final heat of the New Zealand Mini Sprint Champs. And sitting in the box seat, they're all tied on points though. It's Ben Vaughan on grid 19, Shane Dewar, the 3NZ, on grid 8, and Christian Hermanson, the 1NZ, off grid number 3, all on 41 points. So Christian Hermanson definitely in the box seat at the moment in the 1NZ, the Herminator in the Terminator. And another one that we should actually plug in there too, he's just been quietly picking up the spots and picking up the points. It's the 93P car, our lap record holder and our Oval Superstars overall series winner from last season. It's the 93 car, Carl McGill. He's sitting on grid 13 on 36 points. So he's 5 points back, but he's also a fair few grids ahead of Vaughan. And we're going to go green. It's the third and final heat. 20 laps to decide the winner of the New Zealand Mini Sprint title.
Hermo, second place, down the inside.
Here comes Dewar around the outside as well in the 3NZ.
Well, Hermo's really got to make moves fast, and he's going to make a big run around the outside. There is grip out there on that high line on 3 and 4, and Hermo goes through to the race lead.
Well, basically, this is deciding the New Zealand title. Hermanson's in the lead. Dewar's in second. Basically, whoever finishes ahead out of these two is your New Zealand champion provisional, of course. So Hermanson, 1NZ in the lead. Shane Dewar, 3NZ in the second spot. Glenn McCutcheon sitting in third spot in the 44.
This race could really get interesting when we come to the back markers, because that'll play into the hands of Dewar chasing. But we have a look at the lap times. 15.68 for Hermanson, 15.71. Not a lot in it.
We're only literally a quarter of the way through the race, but I'm going to say at the moment provisionally as well, it's a tie for 3NZ between Carl McGill in the 93 and Ben Vaughan in the 57. Now Ben Vaughan's got a fair few more cars that he can pass compared to McGill, so as soon as he makes the move, the Ben Vaughan car will be into that, and he does then too, so he's moved on to 55 points.
Hermanson kicking on in heat number 3. He's just got to be wheel perfect, the 1NZ, if he wants this trifecta.
Yes, the field's spread out a lot more, but it's actually taken a fair while longer to catch up to lap traffic compared to the first two races. Hermanson, though, he's going to be the first to do it, and it's going to be the 61 of Carol Goulding that he pulls in on. One man that's not afraid to use any line on the track is Shane Dewar in the 3NZ car. So here goes Hermanson, navigating the lap traffic. Look how close he gets to the 61 car.
He took the logo off the side of those tyres. Just scraped it right off. They almost flat wheeled. Now he's going the high line again.
Here goes Shane Dewar and Carol Goulding. She's not making it easy for Dewey in the 3NZ.
We're on half race distance, heat 3. Brought to you by AFC Motorcycles.
It's like it literally is a one race final and a final. Look at the field that Christian Hermanson's got to get through now. Dewar's slightly making a bit of ground now.
Hermo just working his way through this field. He's got to be so cautious. Moves over Giles in the 31 car. Hermo's just basically forcing the issue here. He knows he just cannot back off at all, because Dewar's coming. Every time Hermo passes, Dewar does the same. It's me and my shadow.
That lead is increasing each time too. We're out to 1.8 seconds. Hermanson doing the job out in the front.
Hermo could probably even just back it down a little bit now and stay away from these back markers, because with just 4 laps to go, he's got enough of a lead. It's almost the full length of that main straight. It's 2.1. He's opened it right up.
These guys have got the 1 and the 3 on the cars for a reason. They are the 2 of the best in New Zealand, and at the moment they're sitting in the 1-2 position for the championship. Ben Vaughan, he's sitting down in 9th spot in the 57H McDonald's car.
2 to go for Hermo. He's just got to play the patient game now. Of course, no mirrors. He'll have no idea where Dewar is behind him. He won't even know who's behind him. He's been a long time race leader. As they fire it down into turn 3 and 4, the white flag will come out for Hermanson. 1 to go for a title.
20th and the final lap of heat 3. Christian Hermanson makes his way through turn number 3 for the final time. He makes his way out of turn 4, and here he is, your three-time New Zealand champion, in a row. He gets the hat trick. It's Christian Hermanson, the Herminator in the Terminator.
Oh, Dewar, a great title fight there. He took the fight to him. He tried everything he could. He come up just agonisingly 1 point short, but manages to move up on that national podium from 3 to 2, and provisionally looking down through the scores.
Ben Vaughan, 57H, finishes up on 57 points for the 3NZ. How good. Christian Hermanson, 1NZ for the third time in a row. Give it a big round of applause as he gets in front of the grandstand. Christian Hermanson, 1NZ. The Hartley Motorsport, Super Shock, Hermanson Transport, Terminator.
Alrighty, we're down here with the now 3-time New Zealand Mini Sprint champion, 1NZ Christian Hermanson, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, Stu. Yeah, what can I say? Brought the car home in the second race, which in front of Shane Dewar, which meant that we were tied going into the third race, and I knew I had a small advantage because I was starting off position 3 and he was starting off grid 8, I think. So we already had a slight advantage there, but I knew that he'd be coming on pretty strong throughout the race. But it was really handy off the start. I was able to just get out in front, clear those 2 first front cars, and just sort of sit there and control the race and look after the tyres and just sort of, be cool.
All right, down here with now the 2NZ, Shane Dewar. Started off grid 8, managed to haul up into second. Couldn't quite pick off Christian there, but hey, nonetheless, an awesome night's racing. Changed the 3 to a 2, got to be stoked with that.
Yeah, stoked with that. A little bit disappointed I have to spend money on side ironing, but hey, that's the brakes. Good to keep Hermanson honest and keep a point in it. He didn't run away with it this year, so happy.
All right, down here with 57H, now 3NZ, Ben Vaughan. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you. I don't know.
Lost for words already.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We've always been thereabouts near the front of the pack, and it's finally got 3 good heats here. Usually I come here, blow an engine or roll, or we managed to get 3 together and we're competitive and finally got it done.
After you win 3 in a row, you probably get asked a fair bit. What else can you do? Where to now? Obviously, you got the rest of the season. You've never podiumed on a North Island title. So obviously you want to tick that one off and get the Grand Slam. And obviously Windy City Showdown, you want to crack another one of those. I think the 7th one you're going for this year.
Yeah.
So, but is there any other classes that you'd be keen on and getting into?
Yeah, well, first, you touched on what else can we do, and my best result at a North Island title was 5th. So, obviously we'd like to knock that one off as well. But you always gun for that. So after this, actually the car's for sale. So if anyone out there wants to buy it, it's a pretty reasonably priced car. One careful driver. And we want to go super saloon racing. So run the BK series. My friend Sam Woodell, and just try something new. Basically, my father used to run super saloons back in the 80s with Mick Quinn and people like that. On a pretty limited budget and whatever else, and he used to race saloons a couple of years ago, came back after a 10-year gap. So super saloons is probably we will end up next. So we need to sell my car first. So I was hoping I might drive off the track after that 3rd heat and someone might walk up with a check and be like, hey, I want to take it home. So but not yet, so there might be someone around, I don't know, but that's what we want to do next. So
All right, so that wraps up the 2018-2019 New Zealand Mini Sprint title here at Palmerston North International Speedway. Christian Hermanson took out his 3rd New Zealand title in a row in the Terminator chassis. Shane Dewar moved up for the 3NZ spot up to the 2NZ spot in the Hyper chassis, and then now a new 3NZ, Ben Vaughan in the CSR car, sponsored by McDonald's. We'll see you all for the next big Mini Sprint meeting is Windy City Showdown on the 19th of January down in Wellington, and that features the 30-lap final. And that's one heck of a show. So until then, have fun.